Hey guys, how's it going? This is Karthik from YFG and I'm here to talk about Dead Cells. Now, as you can see in my channel, if you have not already seen, I've been playing a lot of Dead Cells and the game is really awesome. I really like the game because of its simplicity and how hard it is. It's actually a hard game and a simple game, which makes it really unique. You feel that you can do better each time. So I keep on coming back to it and I want to play it more and more to see how far I can actually go in the game. So yeah, the game in that aspect is really good. Even though it's an early access, it is still the game I want to come back to see how far I can go. So these endless runner type games are actually, that's the appeal of it. So the first thing which I really want to be implemented in the game is the presence of leaderboards, and to compare these with your friends or the people in your region all over the world or something like that, which will be really great for the game, by the way, to have that score option, to have that timed option, to see the people who have been completing the game faster than you, so that you have something to work towards. So I'd like to know how fast I should be completing this world, first world, the second world, or something like that. And some more things I would like to see is the second one would be a story mode, like a small story mode, because I think the game story, which I know, is like you are cells and you suddenly stumble upon a dead man's body and suddenly you come to life, and then you go forward and start killing monsters with whatever. So that can be a really interesting story towards it, and I'd like to see a small story mode implemented which can give the game a little bit more personality. Like the game has its own thing going on, which is not that bad, by the way, but it can have a little bit more personality if you give it like a small story mode, not a huge story mode. It can end in like 2-3 hours, but to give a little bit of insight in such a good idea which is going on here. The next thing I think I would like to get implemented into the game is the randomization of the starter weapons. Like every time you die, you get either the bow and arrow or a shield, and I'd like, because of the amount of weapons the game has and you keep on unlocking and giving them extra strengths by spending cells on them, so I'd like to see them even more. Even though it's very luck, you have to be really lucky to get the weapons you want, as to play with, which is like RNG stuff in the game, which is there by design. I'm not going to say it's a flaw, but I'd like to see more options to have the starter weapons different. I don't really take the shield because it's not intriguing for me, so it's not actually a choice. Like I always choose the bow because it feels like I should be choosing the bow, and it is the better choice there. So yeah, I would like to see some more random weapons in the beginning, not the later on. Later on there can be it can be the same, like you can just have it drop, or you have to buy them, or you have to pay $1,000 gold to unlock it, whatever. But in the beginning I think it should have some kind of an option to have it randomized, or you can choose from the two which you want, which will be really awesome. And to have an ability in the beginning will be great too. Like to choose an ability in the beginning will be also awesome, by the way. So the next thing I think would be to have the starter worlds also randomized, which will become really interesting, because what happens is when you die, you come to the starter world, it is always be the same. The second world will not always be the same, but it'll either be the toxic one or the other one. So the starter even the worlds can be different, which will make it completely random, which is a very dangerous thing to say. But as the enemies scale from one world to other, it can be done, which will make the game even more randomized. But it might not be a bad thing. Even the enemies you face in the world are like a combination of 3 to 4 enemies in each world. like the combination goes up. Like in the beginning world, I think you can only face like 3 or 4 different kind of enemies, and in the next world, I think it's 5 or 6 like that. So yeah, I think the even the enemies, because as they scale from level to level, so even the enemies generated can be randomized. Like the enemies in the beginning are those green zombie things, and then there's the archer guy, and then there's a grenadier. So in the beginning, the first level. So yeah, I'd like to see it have even more random elements. I don't know why I like the randomization in this game. Like I don't usually like the randomization in other games, but in this game it's done so well that I like the way the architecture is. Like it's randomized, but it's not that random that you get stuck or somewhere or something. It is handcrafted and randomized at the same time. So yeah, I think that's not a gripe with the game. I like the game. I recommend it completely. It's like a 9 out of 10 game for me, and I'm cutting only the first point just because of all the things I just said. So yeah, I think I still like the game a lot. I recommend the game even though it's an early access. I think it's worth your time and money. Please go and check out Dead Cells on Steam. And until then, that will be all, guys. See you in the next episode. Keep on playing, keep on fragging, and have a nice day.